Well, there he is with the belt still around the waist. Let's hear from the haymaker, David Haye, with Adam Smith.
David Haye, a sweet second defence of your WBA title. Were you always convinced you were going to crush Audley Harrison?
Yeah, I'm convinced I can crush anyone in the world. I'm in great condition, as you can see. I can punch and land punches whenever I choose to. That's why this fight went to the third round. I put a lot of money on the third round. A lot of my friends and family did, so I didn't want to let them down by doing them too early.
You're serious? That was the round you picked? That's why it was such a slow start?
Yeah, ask around. I told everyone I'd knock him out in 3 rounds, and that's exactly what I did. You know, no way was he going into that 4th round. I knew if he would have gave me something silly early, but he didn't. He was being very cautious. All I had to do was just apply myself a little bit more, and the shots would have landed. And that's how confident, that's how in control I am when I'm in there. I could have took him out earlier if I really put my foot on the pedal, but there was no need. I was being patient. I was waiting for him to give me the perfect opportunity to land my haymaker.
After all the talk and the hype, there were boos after the first couple of rounds because neither of you were doing anything really.
I knew that there was going to be a big third round. I knew the boos would turn into cheers in a matter of minutes. Adam wasn't fussed about that. He said to ignore it, and that's exactly what I did. I came back in the third round, like I said from the very first. Well, to ask a few reporters, I said after the weigh-in, once after I looked him in the eyes, I knew that it wouldn't go further than 3 rounds.
Audley Harrison told us it was his destiny that he would knock you out with his left hand. He hasn't said anything else for about the last 10 weeks. He was bitterly disappointing, wasn't he?
Yeah, you know, one thing about me, when you look at videos of me fighting, I look like I'm easy to hit. But when you're actually in there fighting me, it's a completely different thing. I didn't give him the opportunity to land that left hand. I don't even know how many times he threw it, but it wasn't there for him to throw any. I was waiting for him to throw the left hand so I could counter it. He knew that. He knows me really well. But, you know, credit to him. He got himself in good shape. But maybe he could go on and fight someone else and win a title, but it's definitely not against me.
You proved again your power is so destructive. Now, going forward into 2011, the fight we all want to see is with one of the Klitschko's, Vitaly or Vladimir. You can hear the crowd's reaction. We've got to make that happen, haven't we?
Next year, I promise that fight's going to happen. I know there's nowhere else for them guys to go. They're fighting the Hasim Ratmans, the Shannon Briggs. They're fighting all the guys everyone's bored of, you know. Audley Harrison is a character in the UK. People got behind him, and that's why this fight happened. Who wants to see him fight Shannon Briggs or some of these anonymous Americans, fat Americans coming over for a payday? No one wants to see that, so they've got no other options. They have to come and sit down at their table and talk sense, and we've got to get that fight happening next year.
You say talk sense, hand on your heart. Can you go in there and make the negotiations and even take a little bit less money or something to prove that you're the best heavyweight in the world? Because at the moment, there are question marks still.
Even if I knocked them both out, there'll still be question marks. That's the thing about boxing. There's always question marks, but I guarantee those fights will happen next year, and I guarantee I'll give them the same treatment as Audley Harrison got, and that's a knockout.
David, congratulations. You keep your world title. Have you got a message for Audley Harrison after all the needle and the dislike?
Yeah, you know, we straightened it out once and for all in the ring. You know, there's a lot of disputes going on in the world, and it's a shame you can't go and get in a ring over 12 rounds and settle them. But, you know, I think the bad blood's gone now. You know, I've known Audley for many years, and, you know, I'd like to, you know, take him out for a drink after this.
That's nice to hear. Wonderful occasion, wonderful atmosphere. Not a great fight, but a wonderful knockout win for you. Well done, David.
Great finish. Go.
David Haye showing some dignity and victory there. The best of enemies, the best of friends now, he says. But he cuts a very lonely figure, doesn't he? Audley Harrison really didn't show up tonight. The big fight analysis is on the way next.